Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again. It is Thursday night, 8:30 in the evening. The Third and Long podcast is on the air. I am, of course, the incomparable Welsh Wizard, Shane Harris. To my left is Mr. Media Extraordinaire, Mr. Philip Perrins. Top corner, the OG of this very fine institution, Oliver Butler Henderson. And above me is our beautiful cherub, Baby Hope. As you can see, I'm in a bit of a somber mood this week. I'm practicing my customer service voice so everyone gets a bit more understanding from
Is it
me.
because you weren't nominated as the Pope?
Oh, I probably combust if I walked into a church, but to be fair.
Noted.
I mean, I think it's a bit funny that you've changed your tune considering he's now the OG of the podcast when 2 minutes ago before we went live he was Gramps.
He was being, we're not going to get into this because he's got everyone's got their buttons, shall we say, and he's got one big button about one big certain thing. And he keeps chucking it at us every week. But I digress. Baby, how's your week been, my handsome boy?
It's not been too bad. Although it's only been a 4-day week, it's felt long.
Been
Tired
great,
now. And United have just conceded, so that makes things a bit more interesting.
It begins.
But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, we're rubbish.
Don't
Doesn't
start.
mean I'm showing tonight as well.
Don't give up hope yet. I gave up hope last week. OBH,
Yeah.
how's tricks?
All good, mate. Tired, but all good. If I'm honest, can't complain. Yeah, happy days, mate. Happy days. 4-day week. Friday tomorrow. Last game of the season for the Colts on Saturday, and then I get a few weeks off before I have to do it all over again.
So do they get like a little party thing after the last game of the season then?
Yeah, we'll have we got presentation next weekend, which means
That's what I meant. Yeah, presentation. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm going to do a speech in front of
Ooh.
a theatre full of people.
Yes, I'd love that.
Did you win the league this year?
No, we most of the time because we went up to the lads have gone up to 11 aside now, so we're playing in the 13th this year. Went to 11 aside through different reasons, injuries, kids being poached to go to bigger and better things, a couple of kids quitting on it because it wasn't going their way. We managed to finish 6th. And most of the season, we only had 12 players when we're playing 11 aside, and that's a killer. But yeah, I can't complain. You know, we finished 6th. We finished 6 points off the team. We finished 4th, which is the other Tewkesbury team, who most weeks had 14, 15 players, which at that age is a massive, massive difference to have.
Well, you know what they say, but you know what you say? We'll get them next time. Mr. P, what's been going on, my old buddy? How's your week been?
Even though it's only been like a 4-day week, it's been an absolute horrendous slog. GCSEs have started, and kids more than ever have been projecting their anxieties onto me. But massive well done for my Year 11s. They sat their 10-hour film exam last week, and they were absolutely brilliant. One girl, she put together a 35-minute long film in 10 hours, which was ridiculous. She wanted the record, and she smashed the record. So congratulations. So in context of that, they film all of their film footage months in advance, and then they have 10 hours to put it together. And normally it would take a student, you'd probably think about any time between like 5 to like 10 hours to put something together, to make like a 35-minute long film for like 3 of the girls that were part of the production was just huge. And unless you're like a film student or been in that particular situation, you don't take for granted how much locked in you have to be to concentrate for that period of time. Massive well done to them all. And I've started watching the Baller League. Has anyone else been catching the Baller League on Monday? I know at the start of the season I was slating it, but Jesus Christ, it's become a staple of my household now on a Monday. We were out with a family function. I said to Gemma about like 5:30, like, Gemma, we're not going to be back in time to watch like the last 3 games. And by God, we were back by the last 3 games, and we watched the Baller League. Oh my God, I'm all for it.
I've seen bits and pieces.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's stupid YouTubers doing stupid things, and KSI literally makes me cringe. But it is entertaining for what it is. Like, I would much prefer the Masters. I would much rather watch 40-year-old ex-pros like rock up on my TV screen on a Boxing Day to for like an into Britain tournament, but it is what it is, and I quite enjoy it.
What makes me laugh about the Ballers League is that there's a team managed by a YouTuber called Angry Ginge. He's beating a teams pure beaten by ex-Premiership players, managed by ex-Premiership players. So John Taylor's team, Ian Wright's team, Mika Richards' team. They're all being beaten by this one.
Dave has a team, doesn't he? The
I
Vapor Dave.
I don't know all the teams. I just know them ones.
They're called like Santan FC.
Oh, is that Dave's team? Is it? I didn't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that Andrew Ginge's team, which because he manages a grassroots team, so yeah. We're going to see him in soccer in a few weeks. Actually, play football. That could be quite interesting. How's the Welsh Wizard?
All right, Pat. Yeah, as we've all said, 4-day week. I'm going to see a band tomorrow night. It's only my guitar player and my bassist from my current band is there, like other band that they do. So we're going to see those tomorrow night in Bath. So, baby, if you're about, come have a pint with me. I would like nothing more than that. Or fruit shoot, whatever. I'm buying.
I'm about tomorrow night.
Are you really?
Yeah.
It's a place called the Rams something.
Ramsgate.
I'll get back to you on that, but it's the Rams something or other. Yeah, we're going to be there from about 8 8 if you want to pop down, but it'd be lovely to see you. So we got that on the weekend. I don't know if I'm doing much else, to be fair, but work's going better than it has been. Now I feel like I actually know what I'm doing, but I've had a little bit of heartbreak this week, which we will roll on to momentarily. I've got plenty to say about that. Plenty to say about that. Plenty to say about that. But for this moment, up the Reds. Come on, let's get this final. OBH, take us home. Take us to it.
This is the news in 60.
So the NFL offseason continues to deliver shockwaves and stunning moves. The Baltimore Ravens have released allegedly kicking Justin Tucker. The reasons behind the unexpected decision remain unclear, leaving many questioning the future of the Ravens special team. We know why. We'll get to that in a minute. The league have officially announced the host city for the 2027 draft. It's the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. We'll be welcoming fans and future stars for the highly anticipated event. The trades happened. The Steelers have sent their talented wide receiver George Pickens to Dallas Cowboys in return. The Steelers are getting a third-round draft pick, and they're swapping a fifth and sixth round for later on in the draft as well. The Jacksonville Jaguars have released Gabe Davis. Literally, after I wrote this about an hour ago, Javius Clowney has been released by the Panthers as well.
Oh, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was just quite disappointed because now Kyler Murray is only facing 7 number 1 picks next year instead of 8. Kyler Murray is facing like every number 1 pick next year. It's crazy.
Oh.
Madness. And finally, New England Patriots, Julian Edelman, he hung up his boots 4 years ago. He's being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. Multiple Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, and well deserved.
I'll tell you what, 5-10 years from now, when Kittle gets put into the Niners Hall of Fame, we are making a bloody song about it if we're talking about Edelman getting into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
How many Super Bowls has Kittle won?
How many WWEs has Julian Edelman been in?
Nice. I like that.
I'll give you that one. But when George Kittle wins a Super Bowl, we'll talk about it then.
I mean, we did do a whole episode on Drew Brees retiring, so...
Yes, we did.
That was very early days.
I mean, Shane's there, yes, we did, he was actually involved in that episode.
I'm aware of what happened. The very first episode of me and my old buddy, Mr. P, were a part of was the retirement of, it was a Bills player. EJ, I think it was wide receiver. It's not EJ Manuel, was it? No, it was no.
No, the first episode that we were on was the day that the Queen died. That's how I remember.
Was it?
That was our first show, the Queen dying.
Wow.
I think it's the second one, actually.
You sure?
Yeah, it was one of them. I can't remember. It was very early days.
Yeah.
So where should we start on this one? Should we start in Baltimore or should we start in Pittsburgh?
Let's start in Baltimore so we can talk about Justin Tucker.
Oh, I wanted to say that. You ruined it.
I was saying it on our WhatsApp group last night.
Parents was the first one to say it on the chat.
No. I got up Brandon Perna. That's how I knew it.
So this is a difficult situation because no matter how you look at it, it makes the Cleveland Browns look bad. So even though we're not going to talk about the Cleveland Browns, it actually does directly affect them. So Justin Tucker, we heard towards the end of the season that there were multiple reports about him being extremely inappropriate with female members of staff at various massage parlors during particular sessions. Now, that came out off the back of him having a horrendous season. Like, we were talking before the season started that, I mean, he's one of your favorite players, Shane. Like, you know, you talked about him being Mr. Reliable, and then he was missing kick after kick after kick. I thought his name was Nick Moody, like, because of how many kicks he was missing. So that's how we were seeing now. I wonder, and let's take Shane out of the equation here for a second. Let's open up to the forum. If he was having that top tier quality season, do we think the team would have allowed these stories to come out?
Probably not.
I don't think they can control it.
Yeah, but you say that though. But Ryan Giggs hid for years via Manchester United that he was having various problems with various members of female staff that Manchester United made them sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, a contract. And again, like those particular injunctions that you can put into newspapers to get them to stop printing particular stories. So those things are all legal and have been used by various companies and various corporations around the world for many, many, many years. I'm not like into like this big conspiracy, but I do wonder the people of Baltimore, maybe if they would have had some more control over it, if he was still playing at that top tier. I still think they would have maybe looked to move on from him at some point this year anyway, because of how horrendously poor he was playing last season. I think it makes the Cleveland Browns look horrendous because I'm not saying they're remotely on the same contract. Obviously, Deshaun is on an obscene amount of money and he has not deserved a penny of that. But Justin Tucker is still a formerly respected member of that Baltimore Ravens locker room. And for the Ravens to like put the hammer down on this when they let, murderers captain their team for years is quite telling about where the team want to go, but also where the league is pointing towards these indiscretions that are becoming alarmingly more prominent in the NFL in the past 3-4 years. I know I've gone off on a tangent there, but I've been thinking about it since we talked about what was going to be on the show tonight. I think there's various different things. I think genuinely, if Tucker had a better season, the Ravens would have done a much, much tougher job on keeping those stories suppressed. Because this isn't just something that's just been happened all of a sudden. He's been doing this as a serial offender for a couple of years now. They were saying it dates back a couple of years, more than one incident. So it's not like it's just come out the blue and he's one and done. Very much like Deshaun, it's been going on for a matter of many, many years.
Mr. Harris, carry on.
Thank you. I mean, to piggyback on Phil's point a little bit, there was a point in time during the season where we lost a few games and the combined points total of us losing those games was 22 points, and that equated to all of the kicks that Justin Tucker missed. That's an insane stat. Mm-hmm. And as I said, what I'm about to say may not make any sense because I'm just going to go off on a tangent. And I love this bloke. He's a franchise icon. We had Matt Stover for years who kicked for us from 96 to 2008. He was an incredible kicker. After that, we were thinking, what's next? And then the Billy Cundiff situation happened. But Justin Tucker has been, as I said, a franchise icon for many, many years in Baltimore. And he was here from 2012. He's been here for 13 years now. And best kicker in the league history, best kicker in history of the Ravens franchise, longest field goal kick of all time. There was times previously where if you put a ball in front of him, it was money. You could bet the house on it, and everyone knows that, and you know that's the truth. But yeah, his form did dip recently. OBH just reminds me of David De Gea. You know, like people have got short-term memories. What have you done for me lately? You know, it's a case of look at these sticky situations that David De Gea helped United out of so many times, and then when his form went on the downswing, you know, they weren't shy about swinging the axe, obviously for different reasons. But it's just a case of sports fans have short-term memories, so I don't even know what to say about the allegations. He's a trained opera singer. To look at him, he looks whiter than white. You never ever would have thought it would be someone like this.
Singer?
Yeah. Classically
That's
trained
a
opera singer. Have you seen the
fact
videos?
I never knew. I never knew.
Right, honestly, that's what I'm saying to you. There's things like that you never ever would have thought it would be in his character to do something like that. He's a married man as well. Not that amounts for a lot, you know, these days. But I'm just
I've just got a
gutted.
question about what you just said.
Absolutely
Shane.
gutted.
You said,
just, as I said, it's not going to make sense.
He's the best kicker of all time.
I think he is
Stephen Gorkowski,
better than him.
Adam
Adam
Vinatieri.
Vinatieri.
I was going to say Adam Vinatieri. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
like,
genuinely think he is.
in terms of, I mean, we're all roughly of the same viewing demographic. Like at least 3 out of the 4 of us are. And I think growing up, I mean, and this is where I will piggyback off the back of Shane here for a second, but like Adam Vinatieri for me, for like my tenure of watching NFL American football from like the late 90s up until modern day, Adam Vinatieri was the man. And Justin Tucker, hates me to say this, but he kind of then took over that as being the gold standard of what a kicker is, like under pressure, Iceman, that kind of like cerebral kind of like kicker, that clutch moment. This season, massively different, but then that could be, you know, obviously if he knew these stories were going to come out, that's obviously going to have a massive weight on his mind that can take some down again. Look how, you know, it destroyed Tiger Woods' career when the allegations about him being a sex maniac and having all these like, you know, affairs all around the world with various women, and that completely ruined his career for a good 5 years. He came back and won one more championship, but then obviously injuries and toll, you know, it took its toll on him, but that essentially ended his career right there and then. So we do see, you know, out of sports kind of like moments having their toll on professional athletes. There's another one that's just come to the top of my head as well. David Beckham, before he played Argentina in the World Cup in '98. You know, he found out that he was going to be a dad, or Victoria had a miscarriage or something. What was it? Did you watch the
I remember something along those lines.
So it's like he was told something the day of that game, and he said himself, like, he's not excusing his actions in that game, but it took him out of the moment completely. So
I wasn't alive when that happened.
Oh,
Stop saying that.
Wow. Wow. That hurts.
Anyway, so I'm willing to look over that, but not necessarily willing to look over his actions, because again, he is a serial offender. This isn't just one woman once. Yeah, it's a recurring thing. And if he comes out and says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I have a condition, blah 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 blah, I'm a sex maniac, blah blah," that's still not forgivable. So I'm guessing he must have performed last year knowing this was going to come out at some point. Like, he's just another bad kick away from these stories coming out. And I can honestly see that. And he must think himself, he was going into this season thinking this could potentially be my last year as a professional footballer.
Quickly before Baby jumps on, his stats, his percentage last year was 73%. Okay. The year before that, or the worst year before that, was in 2015, was 82%. Only one other season did he have under 85% kicking percentage. Baby.
So this is a question for all of you. Do we think these allegations, whether they're true or not, because at the moment they are just allegations, have effectively ruined his chances of ever getting into the Hall of Fame? Because he probably was a Hall of Fame level kicker.
So let's have a look at like some of the players that are currently in the NFL that have done potentially worse things. Ray Lewis is my go-to. Ray Lewis killed a guy. Okay, Lawrence Taylor, a huge drug addict and thug. Okay, Michael Irvin, a massive POS of a human being. He did some horrendous. You look at some of the stories of Michael Irvin on the Cowboys in the 90s. He is not a nice man. His teammates hated him. Hall of Fame. Another one just another one was just
Talk about Michael Van Gogh. Not Michael Irvin. Let's see what the article was. Adam Sandler, I think, said when they did the longest yard together that sometimes he was an absolute boss.
Shannon Sharp, more to come out about Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer.
We need to cover that at some point too.
So again, all these players that have done horrendous things, and again, Ray Lewis and Lawrence Taylor being the standouts for me in that particular incident, they're in the Hall of Fame. So, and they're and they're both lauded as two of the greatest to ever play their respective positions. Now, do I think this has probably hindered his chances short to midterm? Potentially, yes. But maybe if this gets squashed, maybe if this goes away. Oh, Jesus Christ, I've just remembered. Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame as well. And Brett Favre was stealing from charities. There's a Netflix documentary about him now. So, again, we can kind of like overlook these, I guess. But I don't. Long term, maybe history might reflect nicer on him in the future, but he's not going to be in any recent memory. Like, I don't see him even being in the conversation, even when he's eligible, or even the first 5-10 years after that, if he's still when he is eligible.
You say about these players about they're in the Hall of Fame. They've done this. They've done this. People's moral compass back then is very different to what it is now. People won't stand for things what people have done now. Oh, he definitely can't be Hall of Fame because he's done this. 20 years ago, yeah, but he's done this. Don't worry about it. We're not talking about off-field stuff. We're talking about on-field stuff. But nowadays, he
wasn't like assaulting. He wasn't assaulting masseuse on the field on a Sunday. Like, he wasn't doing it for halftime show. But I see your point. But it's a very. I think probably the best situation for all is for him to essentially be blacklisted and it's not brought up again. Like, whatever punishment comes his way, if he is found guilty, I will make sure that we're not liable.
I'm the Chris Benoit treatment.
If he is proven guilty, he serves his punishment, and then after that, he is not referred to again. That means all the Justin Tucker shirts don't get sent to Africa to like clothe of orphans. They just get put in a skip and set on fire, and then he's kind of forgotten about. Because I think that's the only thing. Like, we talk about this, we stand on this thing like, oh, Deshaun Watson, always, and we've made jokes about him every single week when he's played. But the fact is, we're still talking about it, and he's still being in a position where he is still getting paid, and he is still, having that career. Justin Tucker's career is over. Make sure he's guilty as he is seen by a court of his peers if it goes that far, and then he's forgotten about. I think that's the best way to go forward. Tell me if I'm completely wrong on this, but that's just how I feel.
Mr. Harris, round this up before we go on.
Just a couple of really quick things. As like Phil said, these are allegations. Even if he gets acquitted of his allegations, that mark is going to be on his career forever. That's never going to go away. We've seen it with numerous celebrities in sports and general media at large. And there's a reason why the Ravens drafted a kicker in the later rounds. I think they knew something. I think they knew that the writing was on the wall, perhaps. And then my most personal takeaway from all of this is, as we've just said, I'm a big fan of this player. And when people say you're not attached to your team, or you've never been to see them, or you don't never been to Baltimore, what have you, this has made me genuinely ill this week. It is just, when you get attached, these people you're never going to meet these people. You get attached to these people, and whether you know people or you don't know them on a personal level, they let you down. It hurts. Yeah. It absolutely hurts. So as I said, it's affected me this week.
And just to piggyback off of it, only because I was talking about it, yes, not Justin Tucker about it yesterday, but when we as people consume media, and that can that includes sports, this and sports media, we get four things out of it. We get entertainment because we crave entertainment. Okay, we get some form of social interaction, i.e., our show. We're talking about the sport that we love and things that actually matter to us. Point three is we actually we learn things, we watch things, and whether or not that is like stats, whether or not that is game time, players, all this kind of stuff. And lastly, possibly the most important one, it's that identification. And this is where sometimes sports stars go like, oh, I don't want to be an idol. Oh, I don't want to be someone to look up to. I'm not a role model. You are. You're in that position where you're representing a team in a city. Your surname is on the back of a fan's shirt. And that fan could be 6-year-old. That fan could be 60 years old. You're still looked up to. You're still idolized. When you do something good, they cheer you. When you do something bad on the field, yes, there might be some groans, but they still want you to succeed. And off the back of what Shane said, it hurts. You might not know this person. We're never going to meet Justin Tucker. Okay? Like, I'm never going to meet Trent Dilfer. But those particular players...
Why would you even bring that up?
...has given me these particular feelings that will actually influence how I see them for the rest of my life. And that's just sports. When a player leaves us, gents, like when a player leaves our favourite sports team, it hurts. You feel betrayed, like you've been cheated on, like you do, like, and it hurts. And it's sometimes really difficult to get over, but that's just the nature of it. That's what we get out of it. So Justin Tucker doing that, especially to you, Shane, I can 100% believe, because you have his jersey, or had his jersey. You're sitting here tonight wearing your Ravens hat. You always rep and love and support the house. We were with you when you cried when you watched the Ravens.
Don't, because that happened again.
We know how much sports means to all of us, because that's why we're doing this show on a Thursday night. So that's, again, the thing that hurts. You've been betrayed by someone that you looked up to and respected.
I just hope that that the allegations are not true. I just hope that it all goes away and comes out in the wash, because I would be forever disappointed in him if these allegations are true. Just really, really quickly, and then we can move on to the God. Just if I feel like this about Justin Tucker doing what he's allegedly done, can you imagine how Phil feels when Dan Burn leaves Newcastle?
Oh, he's staying he's staying at Newcastle. He's not leaving us. He'll retire at Newcastle. He'll do what Alan Shearer did, and he'll retire. Like, otherwise, my shirt next year is going to have Dan Burn on anyway, because like the last 5 years I've had a Newcastle shirt with Dan Burn on the back. I've got 2 this year.
Wishful thinking for you, pal. Anyway, enough of that somber nonsense. OBH, what else is on the agenda? Are Pittsburgh got even less of a chance in the North this year?
I'll bet you're glad I didn't buy you a Longhorns Tucker jersey now. Baby hope.
I saw it.
Okay, so the Pickens trade from Pittsburgh to Dallas. So I'm going to start. I've got the Pittsburgh wide receiver room in front of me. So after DK Metcalf, who is a worthy WR1, their next wide receivers that are currently under contract for 2025, Calvin Austin, Bobby Trees.
They got Trees no way.
Yeah.
Robert Trees, yeah.
Ben Skronek, Roman Wilson, and Scotty Miller.
Roman Wilson would be a good wide receiver.
I think I just named about 6 WR4s.
I said them to England. We like WR4s.
So Pickens was probably a WR2 in my opinion. Maybe I'm undervaluing him, but I don't think he's a WR1.
Yeah.
And he's gone to Cowboys where he's not going to be ahead of CeeDee Lamb. So number one, the people that are saying, oh, he's been traded because he wants to be a WR1. He's gone to the Cowboys where they have a WR1.
Where they pay CeeDee Lamb an incredible amount of money.
Exactly, yeah. Number two, they've traded him for draft picks. The draft has happened this year. So whether they traded him now or in March next year, the draft picks are the same.
No, I get it.
So that doesn't make sense. Point 3 is if it wasn't working mid-season, they could have traded him mid-season
Yeah.
and still have got 6 or 7 or 8 games out of him. And then maybe it doesn't work because he's throwing his toys out the pump because he's not getting the ball because DK Metcalf is. And then you trade him then. But I just don't understand this trade now. I understand maybe getting rid of Pickens. I just think the timing of it is really weird to not even have a go at going in with 2 good wide receivers. It just doesn't make sense to me about why Pittsburgh thought this trade was a good idea now.
Can I put this another way around? Maybe it wasn't Pittsburgh that initiated the trade. Maybe it was George Pickens going, I'm meant to be WR1 in this team. I've been your star wide receiver the last few years. Why the heck have you drafted him or traded for him, who blatantly is the WR1 receiver because he was in Seattle, and gone, no, get rid of me. I want out. Get rid of me. I want out. I'm not fighting it. I'm a WR1, and you've just gone and traded for a genuine WR1 who's done it in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to the fact that he's gone to a team where he's going to be a WR2.
True, there is that as well, but also at least Dallas have a quarterback.
Mm,
I mean, he's slightly better than what the Ravens call a quarterback, but yeah.
Does only think we've had enough hurt this week? Leave us alone.
No. You had your hand up, Shane.
Yeah. Just a really quick sidebar about George Pickens. Did you know, which is kind of ironic, by the way, that he was born in a place called Hoover, Alabama? That's ironic. He's born in a place called Hoover. That's ironic. He's born in a place called Hoover because he absolutely sucks. Couldn't help it. No, genuinely. Yeah, I think it's a really good. I think it's an astute pickup for the Cowboys. They need extra weapons for Dak when Dak's healthy. He's definitely going to be number 2, but he's number 2 in a bigger market with a bigger team, and I think there's slightly less pressure on him as well because that North is slightly competitive. But then I think he carried the team more in Pittsburgh because he's one of 3 good players. They've got TJ, they've got DK, and they've got Pickens. But now he comes into a team which is more, he doesn't have to carry so much. I think it's a good pickup for the Cowboys, to be fair.
what about Cam Hayward?
He's mid-Carter.
Can I just say something? You said it's ironic he's gone to Hoover because it always sucked. He's had a 1,000-yard season. When was the last time Baltimore had a 1,000-yard wide receiver?
It's because he was a Steeler. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I said it.
Well, I'm just saying because I can't remember the last time Baltimore had a receiver who had over 1,000 yards.
But you need to remember they don't have a quarterback, so it's kind of hard.
That's
2 teams in the NFC North who don't have quarterbacks.
I mean, let's face it. The only team in the North that really have a quarterback at the moment is the Bengals.
Yeah, that's true.
Not being funny, right? I can't wait until LJ wins us a Lombardi. I'm coming to your house. I'm coming to your houses. I will. I've been to Phil's. And Phil's a million miles away compared to where you live.
I just got a little issue with that.
What's that, bud?
For LJ to win a Lombardi, he'd actually have to win a playoff game.
No, that's not true, baby. For him to win the Lombardi, he just put it on easy mode on franchise.
Which is what I do, by the way. I don't like to lose.
And then once he's completed it, he turns his Xbox off.
Gentlemen,
6-11.
for Pickens, I agree with Harris. It is a really good pickup for Dallas.
Yeah, but I don't want to ever celebrate Dallas ever. So
no, I'm not
it does give them 2 genuine WR ones. But you now got 1A and 1B.
But they don't have a running back.
It's true.
They do. Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams.
Let me rephrase. They don't have a good running back.
Rico Dowdle didn't play too bad last year.
Javonte Williams was all right in Denver. Miles Sanders was all right when he was in the last couple of years in Philadelphia and in Charlotte.
Neither Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders was an RB1 last season.
Yeah, noted on that one.
So they can't be that good.
That's down to the coaches more than anything else, isn't it? But I think they could. I mean, it could work out that Dallas have picked up an absolute steal here for the third round and a swap of picks. Is this now right? We have got to win the Super Bowl now kind of window because
But
we're screwed. We're screwed otherwise.
in my opinion, their roster isn't there. Their defense isn't good enough. Their offense around two very good wide receivers isn't good enough. Their O-line without Zach Martin is weak.
Jake Ferguson's a bloody good tight end, mate.
Yeah, Jake Ferguson is a good tight end, but I think they're very weak at running back. I think their O-line is quite suspect, and if you take away Micah Parsons, I don't think, and occasionally Trayvon Diggs gets a interception,
Bland?
and I was about to say another one. They
Ron
don't
Bland,
really have
you
that
said,
much. They don't have that much around that.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, here's a
Obviously, it
question
is
for
a rookie head coach as well.
Yeah,
who's if Dak goes down week 1, who's a replacement? Who's their second choice?
is Cooper Rush still there?
No, he's playing for us now.
So we traded
Lance?
him for a 6th round. Joe Milton III is
Oh yeah.
QB2.
Oh, he played for you last year.
He had one game against the Bills third string and
I
pulled out.
remember that. Yeah.
He
Okay,
threw
that's
three
interesting.
balls, I think it was.
I watched a lot of him in college. He's not that good.
Somehow we robbed the Cowboy. I think it's a 5th round we actually got for him.
He was at Tennessee in his senior year. He's really not that good.
But to be fair, I could see a lot of Dak in him. Him and Dak are very similar.
He has an arm on him, but it's not accurate enough.
Accurate.
Very, very quickly before we go on to the UFL. Julian Edelman, 3-time Super Bowl champion, MVP, been inducted to the Patriots Hall of Fame. You know, great names in there. Obviously, Brady's one of them. I can't remember now. I had all the names in front of me. It was all gone, but it's deserved. I mean, he put his body on the line for us every time. You know, he's undrafted, 7th round pick. Sorry, came to us as a scrawny little boy, and won over Belichick, won over Brady, won over Josh McDaniels.
Wasn't he drafted as a quarterback?
So he played Penn State as a quarterback. He went to the combine and tried as a wide receiver. Belichick on the floor, we're going to make you a Patriot, going, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. And he ended up being started as a kick returner and a punt returner. So his very first game against Philadelphia, he returned a 98-yard kickoff for a touchdown. And then he just made his way into the team and made his way up. Obviously sat behind Wes Welker when Wes Welker retired or moved on. He took in that WR1 slot receiving role and was Brady's best friend. Him, Brady, Gronk, Playoff Danny were unfreaking stoppable for like half a dozen years. And yeah, absolutely stunning. As Dave says, gotta believe, hell of a story. Mr. Perrins, week 6 in the UFL has happened.
Yes. Now, do you remember what I said would be game of the week last week?
But Battlehawks Renegades, wasn't it?
Yes. It wasn't at all the game of the week. It was a very sluggish affair. So I'm not going to say in future what I think will be game of the week. So the Battlehawks improved their record to go 4-2 against the Arlington Renegades in a 12-6 battle. I've watched the highlights. I didn't watch it live. It wasn't a particularly engaging game. The actual game of the week, actually, and one of the best showings was a losing effort from the Showboats as they lost 21-20 to the Roughnecks. So the Roughnecks have now gone 3-3. The Showboats have now gone to 1-5. The very, very close game went straight to the wire. For a neutral, it was a great spectacle for the UFL. One game that I didn't actually think would be as one-sided as it ultimately became was the Panthers beating out the DC Defenders 38-14. Both teams now are looking really good at the top of the table with 4-2 records. And prime time on Sunday night, I said in our WhatsApp group, what a surprise that Dwayne puts his team in prime time, and they didn't disappoint. They lost to the Birmingham Stallions 26-3 in possibly one of the most one-sided games I've seen this year. The Brahmas, going into the season, were heralded as one of the worst teams. They were one of the worst teams last year, and they've continued to be one of the worst teams this year. So Dwayne's favourite team in the league that he funds is not just sucking up prime time, it's also sucking up losses.
Obviously now there is 4 teams even that are at 4-2. Battlehawks, Defenders, Panthers, and Stallions. You have one team at 3-3. Sorry, 2 teams at 3-3. The Renegades and the Roughnecks.
Yeah.
The Brahmas and the Showboats at 1-5 currently. How does their playoff? Is it top 4 or is it all go in and then? How does the playoffs work for them?
So the playoffs have worked over the last couple of years as the top 2 from each of their respective divisions. So it will be the top 2 from the XFL conference and the top 2 from the USFL. So as it currently looks, going into the playoffs, it would look as the Battlehawks and then the Defenders, who are both 4-2, and then in the USFL, you've currently got Michigan and Birmingham at 4-2 as well. So Arlington were in the playoffs last week. If they would have won, obviously they would have stayed second, but they are currently not. But yeah, it's very interesting in the middle upwards. 7 and 8. Across the UFL is appalling. Memphis and San Antonio. I've seen high school teams put up better kind of like games against inferior opposition. Baby,
It's a genuine question. How many weeks are there?
So it's so in terms of playoffs, you've got every team will play each other in the conference of plays. So we're about nearly halfway through the season.
Okay.
10
Thanks.
regular weeks, semi-final and the final. The final is on the 13th of June, according to these. According to ESPN. Yeah, it's another week where I've not really caught them.
I think, and I've been a very big advocate of it. I think the best thing for us to jump on board with is when it is those playoff games, because that's in theory when you're watching the 4 best teams compete for the championship. So when it gets to that, I think that's when you should like at least emotionally or spiritually check in, because that's what I'm looking forward to. I can kind of already see how the rest of the season is going to play out. I do think it'll end up being Michigan and Birmingham, and I think St. Louis and DC. I think Arlington will unfortunately fade away. However, they were the first XFL champions, but then when they won the championship, they went into the playoffs with a 500 record. So they're not a dominant team, but they're the type of team that you wouldn't necessarily want to. It's almost like, I don't use like a football metaphor that, but if you were playing in the FA Cup final, you would potentially much rather play. Oh God! If I was Man City, I would possibly want to play Villa over Palace, if that makes sense. That's how it looks.
Nice. It is that time.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing this.
It is Mr. Perrins versus Baby Hope for 2 of the mastermind, the Flunlong annual mastermind competition. I beat Mr. Harris 2 weeks ago.
I was underprepared and ill-advised. I will be back.
Oh, who's supposed to have one? So I've got the Baby Hope and the Perrins specialist subjects. I have a coin in front of me because let's face it, people were cheating last week when we did rock paper scissors. Mr. Perrins,
They were. People were.
I'm going to do age before beauty. So, Mr. Perrins, would you like to call heads or tails?
I will go tails because it never fails.
And it's not going to work because you can't really see it, but it is a tails. Would you like to go first or second?
I would like to defer.
Oh, Baby Hope.
Nice.
Because Baby Hope's questions are in front of me first. So how I've done it is we've got 3 easy questions, 4 medium questions, 2 hard questions, and 1 difficult question. Now, this is what Google AI class as difficult and easy. And I've read these questions. Oh my God, I think a 2-year-old can answer the easy questions. So that
Yeah,
could be...
well, last time we did this, I got what does the NFL stand for? So
You mugged me off 2 weeks ago with those questions, Brian. I don't say that phrase very often.
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't
whatever.
think that happened that way.
all right, I'm just going to do that bit. Okay. So,
is this it? Are we doing general knowledge first, or am I
we'll
supposed
do
to
general knowledge first. We'll do that each, and then we will go to specialist subjects. I will ask you what your specialist subjects are, and we'll go from there. Baby Hope, please give us your name, age, date of birth, and where you're from.
Um,
And your national insurance number.
ASL.
my name is Oliver Hope. I'm 26 years old, and I am from Bath in the southwest of the UK.
Hey, Bath. Woo, go to Bath. Right. Okay, let's start off with general knowledge questions first. I do apologize for how easy these questions are, but this is actually quite funny. How many points is a touchdown worth in the NFL?
6.
Yeah. What is the name of the championship game in the NFL?
Super Bowl.
How many players are on the field for one team during an NFL play?
11.
Believe it or not, that was easy questions.
I mean, I think if I've got any of those ones, I probably shouldn't be on this podcast.
True. Now on to the medium. Which team has won the most Super Bowl championships? Now I've got 2 here, so you can give me either one.
It's the Patriots and the Steelers.
Correct, yeah. You're not getting double points though.
I wasn't trying to. I was just proving that I knew them both.
What is the term of an offensive play where the quarterback hands the ball off to the running back?
What do you mean the term?
It's either a term, isn't it? So the quarterback has,
I handed it
It's-
off.
yeah, it's handoff. Yeah, it's given us either handoff or a running play. It's called.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you wanted running play or like rush or what.
I was thinking rush, to be fair, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's a piss easy.
How many yards are needed for first down in most situations?
10. Should that not be under the easy category?
Don't
Oh man, I
don't
feel like I'm
judge
gonna get
AI.
shafted. I'm literally getting set up here live on radio.
You're not. Trust me, mate. You went to see your ones. Which conference do the Green Bay Packers play in?
The NFC.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you got that one wrong, you need to go and educate yourself. Okay, on to the hard ones now. Who was the first overall pick in the 2000 NFL draft?
2000.
Yeah.
I was 2.
Oh, shut your mouth, man.
Stop that nonsense.
I know this isn't right, but I'm just going to go Drew Bledsoe.
No, it's Courtney Brown. What is the name of the trophy awarded to the winner of the AFC Championship game?
Lamar Hunt Trophy.
Yeah. And finally, what is the Immaculate Reception and which 2 teams were involved?
I don't know.
If I'm giving you these fingers, one team should be obvious.
Okay, Steelers, I'm guessing.
The Immaculate Reception was a conversional game-winning touchdown reception by Franco Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Oakland Raiders in the 72 AFC divisional game. After general knowledge, Mr. Hope, you got 8, and my pen's running out. It's cool. Does that pen work? Mr. Perrin, would you like to please name your name, where you're from, and your age, my friend?
Hi, my name is Mr. Philip Perrins. I'm a Virgo. I'm from the north, and my birthday is the 13th of September.
Virgo.
I'm 6'3". I currently weigh 116 kilograms,
How
and
heavy?
I've been 116 kilograms. I'm 6'3",
Twisted steel and sex appeal.
and I am a size 12 in shoe.
Yeah,
But
that'll do.
sometimes when I'm wearing boots, I actually go for 12 and a half. That extra bit of comfort.
I might turn on to long walks on the beach.
And I like to listen to Barry White.
Really?
Actually, I prefer Barry Manilow, to be fair. I love Barry Manilow.
Oh,
Barry Manilow, there you
yeah.
go.
At the
Right.
Copa
There we
Cabana.
go. You weren't even born when that song came out.
Right. So your general knowledge questions. So we'll go through the 3 easy questions. What does the NFL stand for?
The NFL stands for the National Football League.
You're correct. How many points is a successful field goal worth?
3.
Yeah. I'm not going to make these questions this easy next week. Actually, I'll be in the final, so I won't be able to. What piece of protective equipment do all NFL players wear on their head?
A Riddell helmet. Football helmet.
Would, yeah, a helmet would do. Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the hair.
I thought you were going to say gum shield. I was getting ready to say gum shield.
To be fair, yeah, you could have gone with that one. But which team plays its home games at Lambeau Field?
Green Bay.
This quiz loves the Packers, doesn't it?
I
I
know.
was thinking exactly the same thing. No one mentions the Panthers or the Cardinals.
I paused myself and went like, is this the Packers again? Like, and it made me question whether or not they actually played at Lambeau, yeah.
What is it called when a defensive player tackles the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage?
Sack.
Yeah, it is. How many Super Bowls have the Patriots won?
6.
Yeah.
He shows us enough times. We should know.
What conference do the Seattle Seahawks currently play in?
NFC West.
Correct. Who was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers for all the 5 Super Bowl victories in the 80s and 90s?
Sorry, did you say who was the head coach?
Who was the head coach? Yeah.
So, Bill Walsh was head coach for 3
Just
Super
give us a
Bowls
name,
in
boy.
80.
Just give us a name.
Look, you said all 5. No, we had 2 head. Anyway, let me finish. So, Bill Walsh was head coach in 81, 84, and 88. Then the great George Seifert took over in 89 and 94. So, George Seifert was present and on the coaching scheme for all 5 Super Bowls, but he was only head coach for 2 of them.
George Seifert is who I have here, my friend. What is the butt fumble and which quarterback was involved? I did not ask it to do this.
So, butt fumble is Sanchez making himself look an absolute tit on Thanksgiving, where he literally ran into another player's arse and fumbled the ball.
Yeah, against New England. And
Yeah.
I didn't put any hint into this question at all, but I read this and I was like, yep, that's saying. I don't get how this is a difficult one, but it is. What is the specific yardage requirement for a successful onside kick in the NFL?
Oh, I know this
20
one well.
yards.
No, it's 10.
It's 10.
Oh!
That's right.
Mm.
Why am I picking up all the pens that aren't working to write my scores down? Next pen.
Bugger.
That one works. After the general knowledge rounds, Mr. Perrins, you have 9. Baby Hope has 8. And if I'm truly honest,
Can I just question how Phil had what's the butt fumble? I had who was the number 1 pick in the 2000 draft, which is somebody that no one's ever heard of again.
Sorry, we blatantly know that's Hall of Famer, whoever that name is. And I also
Cody Brown.
named the 2 head coaches and when they won Super Bowls for the 49ers.
Yeah, but I knew that too.
Yeah, but who did they beat in the 81 Super Bowl?
I don't know that.
Doesn't matter because we won it.
Right.
The Bengals 84, wasn't it?
Baby Hope, as you are still as you are behind, you will have your specialist subjects first. Would you like to remind us what your specialist subject is, please?
The last 10 Super Bowls.
Oh, shiitake. That's as good.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Which two teams played in Super Bowl 54?
So Super Bowl 54.
Oh,
That-
his screen's moved. He's got the answers up on the screen.
I've not. I've Super Bowl 54. Was that the Sorry, I'm trying to think. Was that Patriots Rams?
No. It was Rams Bengals.
Okay.
Oh, it was that one. Yeah, I know.
Where was
2022?
Super Bowl? Where was Super Bowl 52 played?
So 50 was at Santa Clara. MetLife?
No. It was played at Glendale, Arizona State Farm Stadium.
Hmm.
Who was named MVP for Super Bowl 53?
We haven't even knew who played. So Super Bowl 54 was the Rams. Patrick Mahomes.
Correct, yeah. It was Mahomes.
That was against the Niners, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was. Which artist headlined the halftime Super Bowl at Super Bowl halftime show at Super Bowl 59?
Kendrick Lamar.
It was, yeah. Kendrick Lamar.
Go on, say it.
Bean.
No? Okay.
No, it weren't, mate.
Thank you.
Which team won Super Bowl 51?
So Patriots?
It was Patriots. Yeah,
Yeah,
they defeated
they beat
the
the
Rams.
Rams.
Falcons.
You guessed. I didn't know you guessed in the middle of the dynasty, and you were like, "Yeah, Patriots."
It was an educated guess.
Of course it was.
What was the final score of Super Bowl 50?
Was it 24-10?
It was, yeah. What were the teams?
Whoa.
Denver beat Carolina.
Yeah. I almost gave you the answer. Who won Super Bowl? Four. Hang on. X.
Rocky 1 plus Rocky 2 equals Rocky 3.
XL1X.
Which Super Bowl?
XL1X, was that 50? No, 49? Yeah, Super Bowl 49.
So it was the one before Denver. Patriots?
Yeah.
That was a guess.
I met Malcolm Butler, who won us that game.
Oh, is that one?
Yeah. In what city and state was Super Bowl 54 played?
So
If-
SoFi? LA?
No, it's Miami.
Oh, okay.
In which team did the Philadelphia Eagles defeat to win the Super Bowl 52?
The New England Patriots.
Yeah. Basically, just say Patriots to every other question. You can get it right.
Yeah.
And finally, which stadium hosted Super Bowl 55?
SoFi. No, Tampa
No.
Bay. Tampa Bay.
I'll take your first answer, I'm afraid, and it was Tampa Bay. It was James. You scored in your specialist subject 6 out of 10, giving you a grand score
Respectable.
of
Over halfway.
14. Mr. Perrins, you need 5 to draw and 6 to win, my friend.
Okay.
Please remind us of your specialist subject.
My specialist subject is NFL players in movies.
Cool.
Oh, United just equalised.
Thank you.
Up the fucking Reds.
So, question number 1. Which former Oakland Raiders defensive end played in the role Zeus in the televised series and subsequent movies based on Hercules, The Legendary Journeys?
Zeus. Oh God! Can you repeat the question again, please? Sorry.
Which former Oakland Raider defensive end player played the roles of Zeus in the television series and subsequent movies based on Hercules, The Legendary Journeys?
Oh God! I should know this as well. Howie Long.
No, it's Kevin Sorbo.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait,
You said
what,
Zeus,
Hercules
not
actually,
Hercules.
actual Hercules played for the Raiders? No way.
Wait, you said Zeus.
I know
Yeah,
he did.
the answer he gave me here, Kevin Sorbo.
No, but like Kevin Sorbo played Hercules. He didn't play Zeus.
I
true.
do apologise. I'm just going on what.
Well,
Yeah,
that
it does
question's
say
void.
played the role
That
Zeus.
question's void. Because if you would have said played Hercules, I would have gone Kevin Sorbo. But that question is void. He didn't play Zeus.
I'll put an asterisk next to that one just in case, and then we'll go on it there. The Blind Side, a movie about the life of a future NFL offensive tackle, featured a cameo appears by which then Baltimore Ravens head coach?
Oh crap! Oh, he's the one that won the Super Bowl.
We've only ever had 3.
I can see his stupid face as well.
I like your stupid face.
Oh no, it's not going to come with me. Sorry.
Can I do it?
It is. Yeah, go on then.
Brian Billick. We've got 3 head coaches in our lifetime: Ted Marchibroda, Brian Billick, and of course Big John.
Now on this, it says John Harbour is the.
John was in that, was he?
Yeah, John Harbour was the cameo apparently.
Yeah,
Oh
he was.
my god! Oh my god! So they get another question that's void.
In the movie Any Given Sunday, which former NFL quarterback played a role of aging Miami Sharks quarterback Cap Rooney?
Oh, I love it.
Well, it's Dennis
Go on.
Quaid.
It is.
Sorry, repeat the answer.
Dennis Quaid.
I have that as a correct answer.
Yes, great answer. I think it's awesome.
Wait, Dennis Quaid
Okay.
played in the NFL.
Apparently so. I'm just going what it says on here. In which former Minnesota defensive tackle famously co-starred in the movie Predator alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Ooh.
Right, say it again.
Which Minnesota defensive tackle famously co-starred in the Predator movies?
Oh, because he ended up being governor as well.
Oh, don't you know who this is? You should know who this is. Being a
it's
mark
not
like
who you think
me.
it is. All right, no, it's not. I'm not who you think it is. It's not Jesse. It's not Ventura.
Jesse.
Or is it?
Oh
No,
crap,
it's Oh Jesus Christ.
Do you not have a time limit on this, Ollie?
I think we should.
Fine. Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews. I do as well. What moon?
Yeah. Right. Where am I? In the remake of The Longest Yard in 2005, featured several and former current NFL players. Name 2 of them of the members who played for the Convicts.
For convicts, we have Michael Irvin
Yep.
and William Scott Goldberg.
I don't have Goldberg, but I know he did play in there. So yeah, I will
did.
take those 2. Yeah.
William Scott Goldberg.
Okay. Where am I?
Who were the other NFL one? Who were the other? If you don't mind me saying, who were the other?
I have Bill Romanowski, Brian Bosworth, Lawrence Taylor, Dick Butkins, Bon Sapp, and Joey Diaz.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Which former Buffalo wide receiver played himself in a movie, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? Get that fucking right in a minute.
Sorry, say that again?
I think.
I didn't hear that.
Which former Buffalo Bills wide receiver played himself in the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
Oh god, it's in that fucking monologue, isn't it? Sorry, in that thing.
It's one of those cameo roles. It's not a.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. No, pass. I can't think. No.
John Beebe.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah.
My head instantly went to Dan Marino. I was like, no, it's not.
I do apologize for this one. This is a nasty question. In the movie Space Jam, which former Charlotte Hornets and LA Lakers player also had a brief stint in the NFL as a tight end?
Ooh.
Or the Washington Redskins, if that helps. Well, it will help because that's part of the question.
Barkley?
No, Danny Ainge, A-I-N-G.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
Which former New York Giants defensive end had a recurring role as himself in the television show Coach and also appeared in the movies like The Waterboy?
LT?
No, Dick Butkus.
Butkus.
Yeah. Your final question. Which former Denver running back starred in the movie Heaven Can Wait as a football player who gets a second chance at life in a different body?
Well, these questions are evil.
Yeah, I don't even.
I bet you, I'm dreading giving him my special subject next week.
This is not even remotely fair. I have no idea.
Alex Karras.
I think you're going to ask me, like, bloody OJ questions or longest yard and, like, Gridiron Gang. Like, shit like that. No.
If anyone cares, United's now winning.
Up the Reds! Told you before.
I do apologise, and Tottenham also doing that. I do apologise, Miss Payne. With that, you scored 2. With your asterisk, 3. Gives you a grand total of 12. Means this week's semi-final winner is the man to my right, Baby Hope.
It's not nice, is it? When they chuck massive curveballs at you. It's almost as if it's fixed. But I digress.
I don't want to say it's fixed because that's not fair, but Kevin Sorbo did not play Zeus in Hercules.
He did not, and I know that.
I know I'm not as big a nerd as you. What I did, I typed into Google Chat, Google AMI, whatever it's called.
That's the equivalent, right? I'd like you going
about NFL players in movies, and that's what it threw up.
That's literally the equivalent of who played Xena's mom in the hit TV show Xena Warrior Princess? Oh, it was Lucy Lawless. Lucy Lawless was fucking Xena.
Xena.
You could have played her mom.
BH, have you got anything else to cover? Because I have a bit of news I wouldn't mind covering before we sign off for the evening.
Yeah, I just like winding up parents. It's great fun.
I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Wait a second.
Oh no.
Wait.
My mum isn't all
didn't play in the NFL.
Take it up with Google, mate. Take it with Google.
There's never a Kane isn't Kane.
So literally, I'm just looking at his career now. Literally, it's like early work in the mid-80s.
Carry on, Shane.
Thank you, bud. So, does anyone actually know what the significance of Wednesday, May the 14th is this coming Wednesday?
Your birthday.
No, it's October, you know that.
It's gonna be me.
It's May already, you daft. But what it is, which I'm surprised we haven't mentioned anyway, it's been very, very quiet.
Oh,
Schedule release day. Schedule release day. Yes, all 32 teams know their fate for the 2026 season. Here's some interesting dates for your calendar. May
More
the 12th.
importantly, we'll know the London Day games.
Let me do it. Why are you taking this from me? May the 12th, 2 days before, NBC, Fox, and Amazon will each announce one game they will be showing during that season. The day later, May 13th, ESPN will reveal one game on its schedule. And as Baby Hope alluded to, that same day, all 7 international games will be unveiled on Good Morning Football. So before long, we will know who we may be seeing in London in October. And then May the 14th, actual schedule release day itself. CBS will also unveil one game on CBS mornings, while Netflix would also announce one game for their Christmas schedule. So that'll be very interesting Wednesday, which I imagine will be the bulk of our Thursday show. Thank God we've got content again, instead of playing silly parlor games and silly fixed parlor games. We've actually got some news.
Hey, I'm. You can take it up with Google. I googled the questions, and that's what came up.
I think me and Ollie enjoyed the games.
Oh,
What you
yes.
did?
Oh, yes. Yeah. As Shane alluded to and Baby Hope alluded to a few minutes ago, it is scheduled release on Wednesday. We are going to be going through it to an extent on Thursday. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Stay safe all.
You beautiful people.